Hi folks, welcome back to Murthy Finance Academy. You know, there's a digital gold rush happening in India right now, but the gold, well, it isn't a shiny metal, it's data. And the companies building the vaults for all that data, they're right at the heart of a massive infrastructure boom. So today, we're going to dig into India's data center explosion.
So let's kick things off with a number that it really frames this entire opportunity. Get this. India, with over 900 million smartphone users, now generates a full 20% of the entire world's data. Yeah, 20%. Every time you stream a video, make a digital payment, or post online, you're adding to this gigantic, ever-growing mountain of information.
But here's the kicker. While we're creating 20% of the world's data, we only have the capacity to store 3% of it here in India. Just 3%. That massive gap, that chasm between what we create and what we can hold, well, that's the fundamental driver behind the infrastructure revolution that we're seeing play out right now.
You know, I love this quote because it just perfectly captures what's happening. Think about it. In the last century, roads and ports were what fueled economic growth. Today, it's all about data connectivity and storage. Data centers are the essential, non-negotiable infrastructure. They are, quite literally, the new digital real estate of our modern economy.
So how are we going to break all this down? Well, first, we'll dig a little deeper into that great data divide. Then we'll look at the four big forces fueling all this demand. After that, we'll map out the different ways companies are actually making money here, and we'll even check out some of the hidden players in the ecosystem. And of course, we've got to talk about the risks before we wrap it all up with the final takeaway.
All right, so let's dive right in. The big question is, why now? What are the powerful catalysts that are creating this incredible, unprecedented demand for data centers right here, right now in India?
It really comes down to four powerful forces that are all hitting at the same time, creating this perfect storm. First off, you've got the sheer volume of data from the 5G and smartphone boom. 5G users alone are set to triple to almost 970 million by 2030. It's just staggering. Second, the AI and cloud revolution is demanding massive computing power. That's why you're seeing giants like Google and TCS building brand new AI-specific data centers. Third, new data localization rules are literally forcing companies to store their data inside India's borders. And finally, the government is basically rolling out the red carpet with some really strong policy support.
And you can see that policy push in action right here. It started back in 2018 when the RBI said all payment data had to be stored locally. The new Data Protection Act from 2023 just made that even stronger. SEBI's got similar rules for the financial markets. And on top of that regulatory push, you have states like Maharashtra offering huge incentives, like a 100% exemption on electricity duty. The bottom line is simple. More data legally required to be local means more data centers needed. It's a direct line.
Okay, so we know the demand is massive, but how are companies actually making money from all this? See, the data center industry isn't just one thing, it's a whole ecosystem with different business models. So let's break down who does what and, more importantly, how they get paid.
First up is the most established model. It's called co-location. The easiest way to think about it is like super high-tech commercial real estate. A company builds a massive, super secure facility, and then they rent out server racks, along with all the power and cooling you need, to other businesses. We're talking large banks, cloud providers, you name it, all on long-term contracts.
And the numbers here tell a really specific story. You've got players like Sci-Fi and Bharti Airtel's Nextra leading the charge. The upfront cost is huge. We're talking 50 to 60 crore rupees for every megawatt of capacity. But in return, they get these incredible margins, like 60 to 70%. The catch? The payback period is pretty long, around 10 years. So this makes it kind of like the stable dividend play of the data center world. It's perfect for investors who are looking for predictable, almost utility-like cash flows.
Next, we've got the model that's driving the most explosive growth in the industry right now: cloud infrastructure. In this case, companies aren't just renting out space, they're building or leasing entire data halls to provide cloud computing services directly to you and me. This is where the global hyperscalers like Amazon and Google play, along with some really ambitious Indian companies.
Adani Enterprises, through its venture Adani Connex, is a perfect example here. And notice the economic trade-off. The margins are lower than colocation, right around 30–40%, but the payback is much faster. We're talking just 4 to 5 years. This is the high-growth bet. And Adani's big advantage is its integrated model. They own the land, and, this is critical, they own the renewable power source, which lets them control the single biggest operating cost in this business.
Now, within that cloud space, a brand new frontier is opening up: infrastructure built specifically for artificial intelligence. See, AI doesn't run on normal servers. It needs immense power in these highly specialized GPU-based compute clusters. Just think of them as superpowered computers designed just for the insane calculations that AI demands. And this is creating a really lucrative, high-margin niche for players like Netweb Technologies and ETE Networks.
And finally, we have two other key models that round out the whole ecosystem. You've got managed services from companies like Blackbox. They're the crucial bridge that helps businesses move to the cloud and manage everything. And then there's the really cool, rapidly evolving edge model. This is where players like Nextra are building a network of smaller, local data centers really close to users. This is all about enabling ultra-fast, low-latency stuff like competitive gaming, self-driving cars, and the Internet of Things.
Okay, so we've talked about the companies building and running the data centers, but there's a whole other way to play this, the ancillary players. You can think of these as the proxy plays, the companies that are supplying the critical picks and shovels for this digital gold rush.
And this slide really shows you just how critical some of those shovels are. I mean, look at this. Cooling can be up to 40% of a data center's entire energy bill. Keeping thousands of servers from overheating 24/7 isn't just a small detail. It's a massive, mission-critical expense. And that, of course, creates a huge market for specialized solutions.
So you could gain exposure to this whole trend through companies like Bluestar, who's a key player in data center cooling systems, or Apar Industries, which makes the high-speed optical fiber cables these centers absolutely depend on. This offers a more diversified way to invest because, think about it, their success isn't tied to just one data center project. They supply the entire industry, which makes it a potentially lower-risk way to approach this.
Now, of course, no great investment theme is without risk. So, to give you the complete picture, it's absolutely crucial that we take a balanced look at the potential challenges that are out there for India's data center industry.
There are really four main risks to keep on your radar. First is execution risk. Project delays from getting land permits or power connection can seriously damage your returns. Second, technology risk. The pace of change in things like GPUs and cooling is just relentless. That means you have to constantly be reinvesting, and it's costly. Third is power risk. If that cheap renewable power isn't available on time, operators are forced to buy expensive power from the grid, and that can just crush their margins. And finally, there's valuation risk. The market is really excited about this theme, which means a lot of future growth might already be baked into these stock prices.
So despite those risks, the opportunity is clearly massive. Let's pull it all together now and look at the entire data center ecosystem at a glance, just to summarize the key players and see how all these different pieces fit together.
This summary table is a fantastic tool for getting a handle on the landscape. You can see the pure infra developers, the aggressive cloud players like Adani, the specialized AI players like Netweb, the critical suppliers like Bluestar, and the colocation leaders like Nextra. But most importantly, it shows you the key metric you should be tracking for each one. For a growth player like Adani, it's all about how fast they're adding megawatt capacity. But for a supplier like Bluestar, you should be watching their order inflow to see if they're winning those new contracts.
So we'll end with this question. As India's digital economy just keeps growing, which part of this new real estate really holds the most promise? Is it in building the foundational real estate itself, providing the high-tech cloud and AI services on top? Or is it in supplying the critical components that make the whole thing run? The answer to that is going to define the next chapter of India's infrastructure story. If you like the video, please do like, share, subscribe to Murthy Finance Academy.